So Brandon Carey won the 2019 Arnold Classic, presenting himself as a potential Mr. Olympia winner with the incredible physique he brought on stage. With William Bonac second, Luke Sando third, Cedric McMillan fourth, and the biggest disappointment, Rolly Winkler fifth. The first look shows that both nailed their conditioning, with Brandon having an incredibly narrow waist and ripped midsection. You can see that his wide lat sweeps perfectly with his waist, unlike Bonac, who looks really wide in the waist, which doesn't give him an impressive V-taper. Both have very powerful thighs with visible striations in Bonac's quads. The front double biceps shows the width Brandon has in his chest over Bonac, which gives him an impressive V-taper. His lats look wide and perfectly sweeps with his aesthetic midsection. Bonac's chest is narrow in comparison and his waist is wide, so he doesn't have the same V-taper of Brandon. Both have very powerful arms development with massive and separated thighs. The front lat spread shows their incredible level of conditioning with visible striations in the chest, shoulders and quads. Needless to say that Brandon is wider, thus hitting the more impressive pose than Bonac, whose narrow structure doesn't help much. Both look great in the side chest with visible striations in the chest, shoulders and thighs. Both maintain tight midsection with ripped thighs and glutes. I like Bonac in this pose with his bubble-shaped shoulders and arms, but Brandon's muscles maturity shows in this pose, and this is exactly what makes him an Olympia winning material. The back double biceps shows Brandon's wider and denser lats. His bigger traps perfectly connect with his massive lats. His glutes and hamstrings are incredibly ripped. Bonac, on the other hand, shows great definition but lacks Brandon's width and density. His glutes and hamstrings, however, looked massive and ripped, with both having incredibly developed and separated arms. The rear lat spread shows the width Brandon has in his lats over Bonac. Brandon's traps look insanely huge as well, with both having ripped and conditioned hamstrings and glutes. The side triceps doesn't exactly show the triceps, but it still gives a general idea about their pose. I was shocked to see that Brandon looks even more impressive than Bonac in this pose, although Bonac is known for hitting a very powerful side triceps. Brandon, however, looks drier, harder, and better conditioned in the shoulders, chest, and ripped midsection. The abs and thighs is another winning pose for Brandon, who has the smaller and the more aesthetic midsection. But some may argue that Bonac has the more ripped and striated thighs, and this might be true to some extent. But Bonac's midsection might be his least impressive areas, and that's why he can't stand a chance against Brandon's ripped abs and narrow waist. The most muscular shows Brandon's incredible traps and ripped chest, shoulders and midsection. Bonac, on the other hand, has the smaller but the more rounded chest. His shoulders in this pose remind you with Phil's shoulders. Their thighs look incredibly massive and separated. The crab most muscular shows Bonac's rounded and ripped shoulders and chest. Although not as wide as Brandon, I like Bonac more in this pose. There is something in Brandon's biceps that doesn't show properly when hitting the most muscular. So all in all, Brandon rightfully won the 2019 Arnold Classic title and definitely presented himself as one of the top 3 contenders on the Olympia stage. In the next video, I am going to compare Brandon to Sean Rodden at the 2018 Mr. Olympia to see how he would fare. Big thanks to Team Andro and Andreas Volmari. Thank you guys for watching the video and have a nice one.